Hello family, it's another episode of Marriage Monday. You know I'm always happy and excited to be on this couch. And today we're discussing seasons. Yes, seasons. Seasons in nature. You know, in nature we have 4 seasons. We've got spring, autumn, summer, and winter. We also have spring, summer, autumn, and winter in marriages. But we don't know that. We've never learned that. Those are things that weren't really taught to us in that way in premarital counseling or in just counseling, even within our marriages. I think when I got married, I went shopping for a book. I wanted a marital book. It's very important that when you're getting yourself into anything before you have a baby, if you're gonna get into a certain career space, if you get into something new, it's very good to educate yourself in certain things. And marriage is no different to that. And I did that when I got married, and I went into a bookshop and I searched for a book that's going to prepare me for what I was about to enter into. And I got a book called The 4 Seasons of Marriage by Chapman. He's the author of the 4 love languages. Is it the 5? I don't know. The love languages. And the 4 Seasons of Marriage. That book is carrying me till this day. And I think it's a book that will carry me until forever. The 4 Seasons of Marriages. We quickly go through certain. So when we get married, let's go through it. When I got married, when you got married, you probably were in a spring season. Both of you guys were probably in spring. What happens in spring? You are exactly like my voice. You are optimistic. You are excited. You are about to tackle the world with your partner. You guys are going to build a home, buy a house, or move into your first apartment and furnish it the way you guys want to. You guys are going to thrive in your careers. You guys are going to plan for babies. You're going to do the things you two have always dreamt about. And that's what spring is, naturally. We look forward to the flowers blooming. We look forward to the sun shining. We look forward to the colors. And that's what it is in marriage. When you get married, when you first get married, you look forward to what is to come for your marriage. And you plan for it. Like you guys sit down and you literally say, babe, so how are we going to achieve an apartment? How are we going to achieve a sofa? How are we going to achieve our daily living? And that's the first season. And then, you go into your summer. And then summer is, you know what summer is. We wear shorts. We go out with friends. We're happy. We've got our bonuses. We've gotten paid. That's what it is in marriage as well. Everything you've planned for your springtime is now manifesting, is now coming alive. It's happening. I mean, look at us. Look at where we are. We've achieved this apartment. It's furnished. It looks good. I'm happy in my job. You're happy. You got your job. And we're doing this thing. We're planning pregnancy. It looks amazing. I am pregnant. We're planning ahead. But don't forget that seasons as well can also have their downsides. You know, because summer can also get too hot. But we'll come back there. But it looks good. The sun is shining. And everything you guys have set out for yourselves is happening. And we move on to autumn. Autumn, these things have happened. These things are happening. But there's a certain complacency. There's a routine. As you can hear in my voice is lowering because things have just become the same. They've become nothing's different anymore. There's nothing exciting because we've achieved these things and we've planned ahead and these things are happening. But now I know what time my husband's coming back from home. He knows what time I'm coming back from home. We can even finish off our sentences. We're at a point where we look alike Everywhere we go, everybody says, you guys look alike. People know what we probably, when we come to a bride, they know our demeanor, our mannerisms, because we have now gotten used to who we are and we have a set routine. Things seem a bit stale and boring, like in autumn, where now the leaves are starting to fall off. The leaves are starting to fall off. Climate is changing. It's not it's not hot, it's not cold. It's just okay. It's okay. We're dressing up okay for it. The colors are not as bright. They orangey, they dusty. They have a dull tone to them. And that's how things become in our marriages when we hit a place of routine and complacency. We start we start knowing each other that well, and we don't relate to each other with any more excitement. And then there's winter. Winter, on when we talk about nature, it's cold. We get sick, we get flus, we get all sorts of things. We start layering up, right? We start getting dressed. I mean, your laundry has now doubled from what it was from summer, where you were just throwing in a short or throwing in a pair of leggings or a shirt. Now you're throwing in a vest and a polo neck and a jersey. Now you're layering up. There's so many things to wash and take care of, and you have to plan ahead as to what I'm wearing, because you're wearing more than you used to, where you're gearing up. Winter is cold. The colors are grays, your colors are blacks, your colors are beiges, are browns. They are toned down. And that's what happens in our marriages, because once we hit a winter season, we're shaken. We're shaken by so many things. Finances may not be going the same anymore. We're not making the money we used to make. My husband or I have gotten retrenched or have lost a job. Or one of us have gotten sick that they can't work anymore. Now the other partner has to look after the other. Or you've hit a speed hump where something unexpected has happened in your lives, where you've had to take in your parents, or you have to live with your parents, or you have to go live with them, or your siblings, or you have to take in somebody within your siblings or cousins or nephews. You've hit an unexpected roadblock in your marriage, and now there is quarrel, there is conflict, because it's not what it used to be. It's not what we used to be. We can't afford certain stuff. We've had to downgrade our house. We've had to sell a car. We now have to share things, and it's great. I mean, we're fighting. But now, here's the thing. We don't know that we're in these different seasons when going through them. And that's why in certain stages, we're quickly to worry, and we're quickly to want out. We're quickly to want to use the D word, because we're now in a winter season, even a summer season. So I spoke about a summer season earlier on, and saying the summer season can be such a beautiful season, but it can be very detrimental to a marriage sometimes, because we're achieving all these things that we've wanted to achieve. You're working, he's working, your husband's working, but you guys are not getting time together because you are building this legacy, this empire. It's hot, but it's too hot that it is detrimental to your marriage. You guys are not getting intimate time. You guys are not getting quality time. You guys are not getting quiet time as a couple. And Gary Chapman speaks about how we go through these different seasons, sometimes in different years. Sometimes you get married and you hit a winter season. Yeah, sometimes you get married and you hit a winter season. I've heard women say, it wasn't that easy. We went in honeymoon phase when we got married. And others are just like, oh, it was amazing when we got married. And I just felt like I couldn't do this marriage thing. Because when they started as a couple, they started in a winter season and maybe not a spring. So in our marriages, we go through different seasons at different times. Hence, when we're sitting in a group of married people or married girls, we like Oh, my marriage is great. Oh, girl, I wish mine was like that. Because you're in a different season to your friend. And it's very important to realize which season you're in and not to be shaken by it. If you're in a spring season, take it and know this is your spring and go with it and make sure both of you are aware at which season you're in and you are enjoying it to the fullest and you are achieving what you have set out to achieve. And say, babe, this is our spring and we're going, don't try downplay your spring, because winter will come, autumn will come. Don't downplay the summer, or don't downplay the spring. And then when you're in winter, don't get shaken. And I think that is the hardest season in general. You know, when in nature, when it's cold, we never want to go outside. We never want to go outside when it's winter. We want to stay indoors, cuddled up, coffee and all, watching TV and the heater by our sides. But that can be very bad for you because you're not breathing, you're not feeling what God has displayed on the outside for you. You're not seeing people, you're not conversating, you're not meeting other people. You're cooped up in one place. And that's what winter does. But it's very important that when you're going through a winter season, all you have to do is layer up. Identify and say, babe, we're going through a winter. I see it. And if you aren't seeing it, please see it with me. Sit down and figure out, how do we make this work? How do we get our finances back on track? How do we get our kids back into the state they were in mentally, emotionally? Because some of you are going through problems with children. It's not you guys per se, but it's a family issue. You guys are having to support family members. How do we break bread and not let it affect us? How do we not make the problem our problem, but rather just deal with it as a problem? I've spoken about this so many times that sometimes we find ourselves making the problem our problem when it is not our problem. It's just a problem. How do we figure it out? How do we get ourselves out of here? Dress up, get warm, go outside. If you're in a different country and your winter season looks different to ours here in South Africa and you've got snow, play in the snow. Just dress warm. If you're in South Africa, go out and have coffee with your lover. Go have coffee, find a good coffee spot and sit there. And try out a different coffee every day with them. Go read a book. Go out even if it is the winter. All you have to do is layer up. Talk to your partner and say, what are problems looking like? How do we get out of this situation? That's all we need to do. We need to identify the seasons to get through them. If we don't, then we stay in that season. You find saying, I've been here for 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, because you haven't identified what season you're in. It's very important. Do we need therapy? Yes. We need therapy. If you have the abilities to get therapy, do it. I know there's places where you can get free therapy, tall line wise. Call, get help. Your pastor, a friend you trust so much. And if it's the summer and it's too hot, call your husband and say, I am meeting you in whatever country or whatever province you're in, and I'm spending time with you there. Dress lightly. Be lighthearted about things. Yes, it's too hot because you're not seeing the person you want to see, but find ways of making things very lighthearted. Find activities that you guys can do together in your summer. Everything is going well. Just find time for each other. You've identified that it's summer, it's great, but it may be too hot because I'm not seeing my partner much and I'm not hearing I love you a lot because I'm not seeing him. So it's very important to realize what seasons you're in. If you're in autumn, try something new. Have a new shared memory. Share it with your kids. Go out, have a staycation. Do something new outside of it. But it is very important to identify the season you're in. Every marriage has seasons and 4 seasons. I recommend this book, The Four Seasons of Marriage. Get it, read it, and identify where you guys are. Don't threaten anything that may be detrimental to you or your family. Don't be shaken. It's just marriage. All marriages take maintenance. No marriage is perfect. Not mine and not yours. And yeah, that's just what I'm here to say. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Lady Love Bug One, on Instagram at Married Girls Club, and on YouTube, the Mitchell Cools, the Cool Clan. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, this is a place where we want marriages to be healthy and successful, and we will win. Identify the seasons you're in and win.